Rana Daggubati, good to see you. Welcome to NDTV. We are very used to these kind of interviews. Are you used to it by now?
Getting used to it. I think work-wise, I've been doing a lot of it like this. Interviews, I think, no, today has been the first one.
Right. But I'm so glad that at least in this lockdown, we can at least do this and rather than doing nothing and then we'll meet in the future. But I'm glad we can do this.
Yes.
So, Rana, tell me, have you been shooting after the lockdown got lifted slowly? Have you been on the set? What has changed?
One is I've been on shoots only with short content, some stuff for TV and stuff. But
Right.
film-wise, I'm actually in a very funny position where I have 2 films almost ready.
Yes.
And I'm waiting for theaters. So my first is Hati Mere Saathi that comes out in Kranti.
Right.
And I have another film, Virata Parvam, which I have a week of shoot left, but that'll probably be a summer release.
Okay, that will be a summer release. Okay.
So still haven't really got back to filming like that.
Mm-hmm. So what's happening here in Bollywood is, as you must have seen, most of the films that were made are going to OTT platforms. Do you see this happening in the Telugu industry also?
I mean, what's happening is there are filmmakers and producers, actors, all of them making different types of films for OTT.
Yes. Right.
But the films that were made for theatrical are just staying for theatrical, and OTT, the same talent is doing other things.
Okay.
So I think here there's a little bifurcation in saying, okay, this is what we do for OTT, this is what we do in film,
Right.
and this is YouTube.
Right. So in this lockdown, you got a great idea, and South Bay, the concept sounds great. So for the viewers who are watching, Rana, this is going to be your YouTube platform, which will have different kind of videos, concepts, quirky videos, some kind of news. You tell us, and you'll be a better person to explain this.
One is, I think, as much as saying it's mine, I think I just started it. I think I'm just the first talent to start it off. But,
Right.
The idea really was to create a platform for culture content.
Okay.
Right? Whether it's music, whether it's gaming, whether it's animation, anything that's subculture in that sense.
Right.
I think India has always been very diverse, clear about saying this is mainstream and this is subculture. But I think now is the time where all of them are kind of merging together slowly. Whether it's so the idea of bringing mainstream people to doing alternative content, like for example, now I'm an actor from Baahubali, right? I'm a black guy from the Baahubali film, but to do an animated series with someone like that, whether it's with Shruti Haasan, we're trying to put together a Tamil goth album and a show called Secret Box together.
Yeah, Secret Box. Okay.
Yes, and started addressing different key points in culture, right? And see, news has become such a big part of our culture.
Right.
But there's nothing for the young people to really take back from the news that we see every day.
Right.
Whether it's through opportunity, whether it's in terms of career, in terms of growth. So we started curating millennial-centric news, which is focused on things like live streaming, everything that's happening in the digital world, what's relevant in the digital space, what's happening in esports, what's happening in the gaming world. I think so it's a curated news piece for 125 people who are in the generation of wanting to make something happen.
Right.
Then the idea of bringing global exposure to Indians and to everybody following with content.
Okay.
We have a bunch of talk shows we put together, one with Lakshmi called Coming Back to Life. There we have from actors who are established in Hollywood like Sendil Ramurthy and others of Indian origin, to Indian actors like Taapsee, to fashion designers, to from Australia, to wig makers from different parts of the world.
Right.
The idea is to bring India a global exposure through culture.
Okay.
Working with talent that is of Indian origin, but is become very popular with their art or skill in different parts of the world.
Right.
I think that's the first set that we've used to create content with.
Okay.
And after that is really an idea for, see, today as an artist, as a filmmaker, or in a feature film, it's very hard for me to work with a YouTuber. It's very hard to plug all of them in.
Right.
Now, but here it gives us that platform. South Bay becomes that platform where all of us can kind of straight be together.
Right.
So, for example, in my 3rd episode, I found a YouTuber who is living somewhere in Boston in the US, just making some fun cooking videos. He just was so funny, and then we just brought him on, right? So the idea is, want to start making this platform, making content where people from all walks of life can come and straight be on that place. So for a viewer, it's stuff that he can enjoy, and he can be part of the show at some point.
Wow.
So that's really what the channel offers.
Right. So there'll be a show, there'll be a series with Shruti. Lakshmi is also doing something, I read.
Yes.
What will she be doing? Yeah.
Lakshmi is doing a show called Coming Back to Life. That's Lakshmi.
Life. Okay.
I think it's a show that literally means its title. We're coming back to life after this whole pandemic, this whole lockdown, and understanding different viewpoints of different people in terms of different walks of how they've reinvented and reset their lives very, very quickly.
Right. Right. And Rana, what will we see you doing? What is your idea here?
I've have a show. It's called Why Are You? It's a fictional talk show in that format. So, so you can't hold me for anything that I say on the talk show. Or can't hold anyone of the guests because some part of it is fiction, some part of it is real. And the idea was now we've always had things like I don't know if I'm sure you grew up on Mad Magazine and other things.
Right? Yeah.
Right. See, now different parts of the world always had different things to make commentary of their culture in some ways, starting to understand it, reflect it, and taking from that thought and also taking from the Indian audience's popularity with things like South Park and BoJack Horseman and all of those that are just being watched so much in India and consumed. I said, let's start going in India and load things up in our direction. So that's the first one that I'm doing. Why Are You? And I think what it leaves me to do is, see, we always, as an artist, you want an IP that you can keep building on for a long time. If you see things like The Simpsons or all of those, I mean, they're 1,000 episode plus IPs, right? And I think Why Are You is something that I can keep building on for a long time with the madness that is there.
Wow. So, was this idea conceived during the lockdown, and when will we see all this happening, and when will all this be live?
So one is the idea was conceived, yes, in the beginning of lockdown and started executing. You will see the first chapter go live on the 15th of November. That's the Sunday after Diwali.
Okay. Okay.
And we're doing something unique and fun with the way we're dropping content.
Right.
What we're doing is we're curating lives on festivals. So we're doing festive drops.
Okay.
So you will see a Diwali drop. After Diwali, you will see a Sankranti drop. You will see a Christmas drop.
Nice.
You will see a Feb 14th drop. I'm saying everything that is festive based is what we're curating, and we're dropping new content on each festival.
Right. Right. Yeah. Rana, do you see YouTube content now that you're doing this? Producing YouTube content is a lot more in control and easier even during times like these. You can keep coming up with a lot of content.
That's for sure. I mean, in times like this, I think this is a great direction to head.
Right.
And what it gives you is really an opportunity to explore yourself in terms of what writing you want to do. It kind of gives you that first set of audiences that are clear. You're not going overboard on costs. You're putting things in control and in perspective, and really putting the idea out there in the whole wide world, saying this is what it is.
Right.
And I think that flexibility I've never got as an artist in any other forms that I'm doing.
Right.
And yeah, so that's really what the comfort is on YouTube.
Right. Before all this fell into place, did you watch a lot of YouTube? Because YouTube has all kinds of content, and all the most bizarre also goes and does really well. So.
Right. Yes, I've been. Yeah, I mean, this lockdown, who hasn't been watching content? Right? I'm saying whichever OTT has created content, I think we've been watching it.
Right.
And see, it's clear. I mean, this fourth industrial revolution is a revolution where content will take front seat completely. Absolutely. And every filmmaker, every creator in that sense will have a voice that is very unique, whether it's in a big theater or whether it's on IGTV, doesn't matter.
Right.
But it'll still be a very solid voice, a voice relevant to change. I think that's where the future is headed. So yeah, this is my first step.
Great. No, it's a great step. Rana, also, we were everybody in every industry, not just one industry, world over, was going in a very monotonous way, making films like machines back to back. Do you think this lockdown at least gave a refresh and gave a fresh start for newer ideas as well?
So lots here, definitely. See, I think one is the way or the kind, what people will be after this lockdown is going to be very different.
Yeah.
Because I'm saying everybody has watched lots of international cinema.
Right.
Lots of, I mean, I know like everyone in Telugu has watched probably all Korean shows,
Right.
right?
Yeah. Right.
So they've seen stuff that's at top quality in the world.
Right.
So unless your stories are original, unless they're unique, it's not going to hit the audiences in the right pattern. And I think somewhere we've also, as human beings, created that global phenomena of people are one. Now we don't slowly lost the difference between watching Spanish shows and English shows and Mexican shows. Everything will start becoming one and the same for us very soon.
Right. Great. So looking forward to this one. Before we go, your fans would really like to know about, you recently said there'll be a beautiful announcement next year. Is that the film with Venkatesh? Is that also, there's a film with Pawan Kalyan?
Yes, there's a lot next year actually. And yes, what the fans, yes, I mean, me and my uncle were obviously, we've spoken over hundreds of stories in these last 10, 15 years to put together. But it's also, I mean, we are also very different people.
Yes.
And trying to bring something together was obviously difficult. And I think this lockdown just helped us focus zero on something that we really like.
Right.
So we're just putting final touches and putting final things together, and we'll.
Great. We are all big fans. So, will be great to see you guys together. And good luck to you, Rana. Stay safe and can't wait to watch all the content that you make on YouTube.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.